Well, 75, I wasn't in the West Indies team then. Didn't play in the 75 World Cup. I went to Australia in the latter stages of 75, first time with the West Indies, and the World Cup winning team joined the other guys on that trip. 79, yes, I was a part of that team, and although we won the World Cup in 79 and we won the final quite convincingly, there were a few hiccups along the way, as you would expect in a one-day series. It's just a matter of who turns up and plays well on in a particular day, that will win a one-day game. I think why the West Indies won so well and won so regularly, even in the one-day format of the game those days, is just the fact that we had so much talent in the team. We had a lot of fast bowlers who knew exactly what they were capable of doing. We had some batsmen who were dynamic, perhaps not as dynamic as some of the batting that we are seeing these days, but for those days they certainly were very dynamic, could hit the ball a long way, could run quick singles, could do exceptional things with their footwork, and we had some fantastic fielders. We had pretty much a good all-round team in my opinion. Well, I played in two World Cups, 1979 and 1983, and I think the teams that I played in for those two World Cups were serious about the World Cup. The World Cup was a brand new thing. The first one was 1975, and I think people who played in that World Cup thought to themselves, listen, this is the entire world taking place, this is a world stage, if we can win it will be great. Not that we were achieving a great deal as far as prize money or recognition or anything like that was concerned, because 79 we were still the best team around in world cricket. 83 I think we were still the best team, so it was just another feather in the cap. So yes, I think everyone in the team took it quite seriously, and I think 1983 when we lost, a lot of people were shattered. Well, I'll start with the partnership between Brearley and Boycott. It was wonderful for the West Indies because they batted slowly. I don't think the rest of the batsmen had a chance of making up for the slow rate at which they batted. Because what we have to remember is that though the score was less than 300 and it was all of 60 overs, those days you had no field restrictions. You didn't have to have catchers, you didn't have to have anybody inside in the imaginary circle, nothing. So you could have the field spread wide. So it was pretty difficult for batsmen to score 5 and 6 runs and over. Once we got the total that we got, with that century from Viv and the knock from Collis King, I think when we walked out onto the field that day in the afternoon to bowl, we pretty much felt that we had won. We still had to go and get the job done, but we were quite confident with the bowling attack that we had, that we could win that World Cup, which we pretty much went on and won quite comfortably. Joel Garner, I think, just put the icing on the cake with his bowling spell. He just destroyed everything that came in trying to accelerate the scoring rate. Well, as I said before, one-day cricket is about teams who turn up on that particular day and play well. I've seen one-day games where very mediocre teams have beaten some very good teams. I remember one Bangladesh team beating Australia in Wales at Glamorgan. Now that was a very unusual situation. We would find a team like that beating Australia. But again, it's just a matter of who turns up on the day and plays well. That 1983 final, when we went out there chasing those runs, I think everybody pretty much thought that they would win quite comfortably. Again, perhaps over complacent, perhaps taking things a little bit too relaxed when you still had to go and get the runs. But you'll have to give India a bit of credit. They went out there thinking that they had a chance as well, and they certainly grabbed their opportunities and won the game. No, well, since 95, I don't think there has been a lot of cricket, whether it's one-day games or test matches, that West Indies have been dynamic and people getting excited about it. They won the 2020 World Cup at some stage. I don't remember what year, because I don't really pay too much attention to that. But that's the only thing that the West Indies have won in recent times. So it's not something that you can say, okay, you can pinpoint your finger on something and say this is the reason, or this is how badly they have played, and this is the reason why they have played that badly. We have just gone downhill in all aspects of the game. They have some batsmen that can hit the ball a long way. They have some guys who can score runs rapidly, get plenty of runs and get them quite quickly. And I think they have a reasonably good bowling attack, especially for the countries in which they're going to be playing. In Australia, you're going to need some bowlers with a reasonable amount of pace and very good control. And you're going to need some spin bowlers with a little bit of variety. And I think the West Indies have got that. Well, I think there are a lot of teams that can win this World Cup. You know, the West Indies obviously have a chance. Australia, South Africa, India, Pakistan. I wouldn't rule out too many teams out of winning this World Cup. I don't think there's any team at the moment that is outstanding that anyone would say is head and shoulders above the rest.